We are just hours away from the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Baltimore Ravens. I wanted to take some time here on Saturday to give you guys the injury updates here before we get things going here in a massive week for the black and gold. Before I get going on today's updates, make sure you click that subscribe button because I'm currently on my day off. I'm currently moving with my girlfriend to a new apartment here in Dallas, but I wanted to get you guys a video out because my promise to you is every single day we're going to get you the latest Steelers news and rumors. So whether I'm on vacation, whether I'm moving into a new apartment, doesn't matter. I'm going to have you guys covered with the latest Steelers news. So do me a favor, click that subscribe button right now. Now let's talk about the injury updates for the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Of course, we learned this week Kenny Pickett, the quarterback, will in fact be starting. Just a bone bruise and muscle strain in his knee was the injury last week versus the Texans. He's going to be good to go. I've covered that a bunch on the channel already, so I won't spend too much time there. Really, the big one here on the injury report this week that was kind of a curveball was edge rusher Alex Highsmith, who's currently dealing with a groin issue. Really disappointed last week versus the Texans. No sacks. He made a couple of splash plays here and there, but he was going up against the third string left tackle. For somebody that's going to be getting paid what he's going to be getting paid here over the next couple of years, he needs to be somebody that can take advantage of those matchups very consistently and deliver results for this defense. He didn't do that last week, and now he is questionable with a groin injury. Was a limited participant in practice on Friday, and with a team like the Baltimore Ravens, where you need to get pressure on the quarterback, Lamar Jackson. It's going to be very, very important for the Steelers defense. Hopefully, Alex is going to be able to give it a go, but he is going to be questionable here heading into Sunday. Now, there's quite a few players here for the Steelers that are going to be out. Dan Moore Jr., the left tackle, he's going to be out. Broderick Jones, the first-round rookie out of Georgia, he's going to be the one to get the start. Was up and down last week versus Houston when he came in relief. Pretty much played the whole game because Dan Moore got hurt on the first drive offensively. So Broderick Jones, I thought he played better as the game went on. Mike Tomlin agrees with that assessment, as he said in this week's press conference. But he needs to play better. He needs to be better in pass protection, keep Kenny Pickett upright. And if he can't do that, I mean, Kenny might get hurt again. We definitely don't want to see that happen. Also, another starting offensive lineman, James Daniels. He's been dealing with a big issue here. Did not play last week, will not play again this week, unfortunately. The highest graded offensive lineman for the Steelers last year is going to miss another game. Even when he's been in the game this year, hasn't been all that great. So it looks like he's going to take another week off here. He's going to have the week 6 bye to get healthy, and then he'll be probably back on the field in week 7. Also, Pat Freiermuth dealing with an issue as well. Tight end, of course, that hamstring issue. He's going to be out probably the next couple of weeks. Maybe comes back for week 7 here, but I would say for now, definitely not going to be playing this week versus the Ravens. Darnell Washington, another rookie out of Georgia, is going to be the one elevated up the depth chart this week as the number 1 tight end. And then also punter, Presley Harvin III will once again be off duty this week. It'll be Brad Wing as once again the punter for the Steelers. I thought Wing did fine last week against the Texans, but we really do hope that Presley Harvin can get back fully healthy soon because he was really playing well before he got injured. Final player on the injury report that's going to be out this week, DeMarvin Leal, rotational defensive lineman. He's going to be out. So with him being out and Cam Hayward being out here for the foreseeable future, expect Keanu Benton, another rookie, to step up this week. I think he's been playing fantastic. He's been kind of a rotational piece, only getting about 25% of the snap share at this point in the season. I expect that to tick up now that DeMarvin Leal is going to be out of the lineup. I expect to see Isaiah Loudermilk in there quite a bit as well, but I really want to see a lot of Keanu Benton. He's been lighting it up, in my opinion, on film. He's been a big-time bright spot on a defense that's kind of disappointed to this point in the season. All right, so that's going to be the Steelers injury update. Now let's go over the Ravens this week. And there's a number of key players for the Ravens that may not be on the field tomorrow. Some of the ones that were on the injury report but will play: Rashad Bateman, the wide receiver. You got Marcus Williams, their starting free safety. And then you got Jalen Armour-Davis, one of their corners, that will be on the field. So those 3 guys, expect to see them on the field tomorrow. But though there's quite a few that are questionable here. Marlon Humphrey, one of the best press man corners in the game of football, he is questionable questionable to go this week. Same thing with Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver here for the Ravens. They really want him on the field. But Zay Flowers, in my opinion, if you want to ask me, is probably already the number one receiving threat other than Mark Andrews on this Ravens team. Patrick Peterson talked about Zay Flowers, calling him a munchkin. Hopefully he can live up to that trash talk tomorrow. But then speaking of skill position players, Justice Hill, running back for the Ravens, he's questionable to go. And then a big one here, I think some of the biggest stories in this game now is going to be centering around the offensive tackles for the Baltimore Ravens. Left tackle Ronnie Staley, he is questionable, so he might not be on the field. That'd be huge for Alex Highsmith if he's on the field and Ronnie Staley is not, and they have a backup left tackle in there. And then also Morgan Moses, their starting right tackle, he is also doubtful to play in this football game, which means really good things for TJ Watt. He lines up against right tackles every single week. And if Morgan Moses, who's actually pretty darn good right tackle, isn't there and it's a backup instead, oh my goodness, man. Expect TJ Watt, who right now, in my opinion, is one of the top candidates to be Defensive Player of the Year in the National Football League, to absolutely eat at home, knowing how important this rivalry is, knowing how important getting a win is, going into the bye week, especially with all the stuff happening with Matt Canada, all that different kind of stuff. So that is the injury reports for both Steelers and Ravens. Some final thoughts going into tomorrow's game. Obviously, this is going to be a big one for the Steelers moving forward, for Kenny Pickett's confidence, for their confidence in Matt Canada moving forward. If you're Kenny Pickett, you do not want to go into this bye week with pretty much five straight weeks in a row of bad football. I mean, week 3 versus the Raiders, definitely his best performance, but he was still leaving yards on the field. It was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And then the other 3 games, I mean, he's looked straight up terrible. So I'm just going to tell you guys the truth. I'm not too sure what to think about Kenny Pickett. I'm not going to give up on him at this point. The Steelers aren't going to give up on him. But you definitely want to go into this bye week feeling at least somewhat confident in Kenny Pickett that he is going to be able to take this team into the rest of the season and really give them a shot to get back into the NFL playoffs here in 2023. Then as for the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, I think that's the other really big storyline heading into this one. There's a lot of reports going out there right now that if the Steelers struggle in this football game offensively, yet again, it looks like Mike Tomlin and the Steelers organization is going to part ways with Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator. Now, for some Steelers fans out there, they're going to be like, I don't even care if it's the Ravens. I want them to do poorly offensively this week because I want Matt Canada gone. I don't feel quite that way. I never want the Steelers to lose football games. I always want this team to find success. I don't care who the offensive coordinator is. I don't care who the quarterback is. I want to have success. And if the Steelers can find that success this week against an arch rival at home and get a victory heading into the bye, I mean, I think in that circumstance, Matt Canada probably won't be getting fired, but at least you do have that nice confidence going into the rest of this season. And then as the season goes on, I'm sure there's going to be other opportunities to fire Canada if he continues to suck as kind of the season progresses. So I actually put out a video of some potential Matt Canada replacements on the channel this week. I'm going to put the link to that one in the comments and description if you guys are interested in seeing which kind of coordinators, quarterback coaches, that kind of stuff that I think could potentially replace Matt Canada, not only as an interim, but who they should target moving forward. So I would highly recommend checking out that video here after we're done today. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. But again, it's my day off. I spend a ton of time putting out content here on the Black and Gold, trying to give you guys, the best fans in the National Football League, the very best and most dedicated coverage I can on the Black and Gold every single day. So if you want to join us for our live watch party tomorrow, Coop and I, we're going to be going live around 12 p.m. Eastern Time, an hour of pregame, followed by live play-by-play, get my live reactions to everything that happens tomorrow. And then also super chat giveaways. We'll be giving out shout outs to all the people on the show. So if you want a place to kick it with your fellow Yinzers, and we're actually the most streamed Steelers YouTube watch parties on the platform right now. So if you want to join the biggest community of Yinzers on YouTube to watch this football game together, go ahead, click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and join us tomorrow at 12 p.m.